Hi, everyone. So like I talked about yesterday, we are jumping into the second half of Chapter 9 today, and you will be learning a new lesson. This first lesson that I'm teaching you in this chapter is a really big conceptual idea in algebra. And I don't know that I want you to learn all of it from the video because it's a really important thing. So what I've decided is I'm just going to focus on one skill, one particular type of example that you'll need to know how to do. To be able to work through this lesson. And then when I see you tomorrow, we'll go back and fill in all of the stuff around that skill. So what you're doing today, you might not totally understand why you're doing it. I just want you to practice the method. And then once I see you tomorrow, I'll hopefully shed some light on that for you. So if you head to your notebooks, I'm in Chapter 9, Part 2. Okay, this is where we left off. And the lessons are a little bit out of order here. So you're going to skip past this one that says graphs of polynomial functions and head over to this lesson called the factor theorem. And give me 1 second. I'm going to switch my camera. Oh, not to that camera. There we go. And then there. Okay. So, like I said, factor theorem is a really major deal in algebra. I want to just talk about, on the back of this page, there's an example that says synthetic division. Synthetic division is an alternative to long division. It doesn't always work. It works in certain situations. But in this situation, and again, you don't maybe understand why, but to do this problem, what I really want to do is take this polynomial and divide by x minus 3. And I could do that with long division. I could do x minus 3 on the outside and do this thing on the inside. But synthetic division is faster, and it gets us the information we need more quickly. Okay? So what I'm really trying to accomplish here, like the problem that I'm solving, is x cubed plus 4x squared minus 11x minus 30. And I'm dividing that by x minus 3. So this video is just going to do this one example, and then I'm going to have you try this process a few times on your own. So what I'm going to do to start with for this process is I'm going to look at this thing that I'm dividing by, the factor, okay? And what I want to do is I want to pull the opposite of the number that I see here. So I'm seeing a minus 3, so I'm going to start with a positive 3. You're not going to understand right now why it's a positive, okay, because that's part of what the factor theorem is all about. So I promise you there's a reason that we're making it positive. Just go with me for right now. I'm going to box this 3 off, and then the next thing I'm going to do is line up the coefficients from the thing I'm dividing into. I should be on the lookout for any skipped terms, just like when you did long division, because I would have to put a 0 in for that. But this is like a 1 here, so I'm going to list a 1, and then a 4, and then a negative 11, and a negative 30. Okay? So this 3 came from the opposite of this number. These numbers came from the coefficients here. Okay? I'm going to leave like a line of space right here, but then draw a horizontal line. Okay? And then you might just want to watch this for a second and then maybe pause and try it on your own, or you can rewind the video and try it again with me. But for a second, just focus on watching what I'm doing. I'm going to drag the 1 down. Okay, that first term always just drops straight down. And then I'm going to multiply 3 times 1 and put the answer here. Okay, so what I did is I did 3 times 1 and I put the answer here. And now I'm adding these together and I get 7. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 3 times 7 is 21. And then I'm going to add. So negative 11 plus 21 would be 10. Okay. And then 3 times 10 is 30. And then I'm going to add those together and I get a 0. I like that I got a 0 there on the end. Okay, you have no idea what these numbers mean right now. Okay, again, you're just learning this process. But what this gives me is my answer. So do you see how I started with an x cubed and I'm dividing by something with an x? That means my answer should have an x squared in it. And that's what this first number is. So my answer is 1x squared and then I'm just going to go down in degree from there. So plus 7x, and then plus 10. My remainder is this 0 here on the end. That's why I said I like that this came out to be 0. So this number on the end is always your remainder, okay? And so what I just did is I took this and divided by x minus 3, and I found that my answer is x squared plus 7x plus 10. Now again, there's more to come with that. Like there's a purpose for why we're doing that. But for right now, I just want you to practice that skill. And then tomorrow when I see you, we'll talk about why we would do that. Okay, so in your homework packets, which I've left for you, you're going to skip past this first assignment, the section 9.5, because again, we haven't done that whole lesson. You're going to head to this page right here. More on factors, zeros, and dividing, okay? And I'm going to have you do just the odds on the front of this page, okay? So just the odds. But I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to do one of the evens with you just so you have one more example to pull from, okay? So we'll do one more of these together, but then your job is to do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So there's only 5 problems for you to get through today, okay? I know the directions say to find all the zeros. You don't have to do that part or the factoring really even. You just have to do the synthetic division and then leave it there, and then we're going to revisit this when I see you later. Okay, so let's try this one. Again, I'm starting with an x minus 3 as my factor, so the number that I'm pulling is just a regular 3. By the way, if you have one that's a plus, so let's see, I'm looking down at number 9. Number 9, I'm seeing an x plus 5. So you would start with a negative 5 in your box here. It's always the opposite of what this number is, okay? Next, I'm going to line up my coefficients. So I see a 1, and then this would be a negative 1, and then a negative 14, and a 24. And again, do be on the lookout. If you're missing any terms, make sure you fill in zeros there. Line of space, drag down the first term, okay? If you want, pause the video now and try to get a head start and then turn it back on and see how you did. But I'm going to go 3 times 1 is 3 and write that number right here. And then I'm going to add together. So negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 14 plus 6 is negative 8. Okay, 3 times negative 8 is negative 24, and 24 plus negative 24 is 0. I believe with all of these, if they're giving you factors, yeah, all of these should come out with a remainder of 0, okay? So if you didn't get a 0 there at the end, you did something wrong. And then I'm going to translate this thing back into a function, and again, I know how to start because I started here with an x cubed, so this is going to be an x squared. So my function now would be a 1x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, that's what I want you to be able to do today. There is more that we'll have to do with this, so, but get a start there. And so again, I'm asking you to do on the left side of this page 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, let's see how you do. We can talk about this when I see you tomorrow, and then we will kind of show you the significance of this or why you would want to do this later on. Okay? All right, you guys have a great day.